Bayleef might just be my favourite middle evolution starter. Its design is truly and utterly wonderful. Bayleef is a fantastic Pokemon in GSCZU. It acts as one of the best defensive Pokemon in the tier, a supporting Pokemon, and a Sword Stance sweeper all in one. Bayleef is able to check a number of Pokemon, including Croconaw. It's a staple on balanced and offensive teams due to its utility. Bayleef has a large move pool by GSCZU standards, which can make it unpredictable. It has Light Screen, Leech Seed, Synthesis and Reflect for defensive sets, and Sword Stance for more offensive sets. Bayleef is very bulky by GSCZU standards, tanking stab attacks from Pokemon like Magby and Smoochum in a pinch. Its typing also granted resistances to water and ground. Bayleef is the best ground check in this entire metagame. Its Sword Stance sets are also threatening, especially since it can set up on Rock Slide and hidden power variants of Rest Talk Croconaw. While Bayleef is weak to common attacking types like Ice, Fire and Poison, it's a great Pokemon in GSCZU. Let's analyse the Leaf Pokemon. Bayleef's stats are very good by GSCZU standards. Its stats, particularly its defences, are well distributed. This, combined with its typing and move pool, make it a premier defensive pick in GSCZU. Bayleef can be difficult to break down in neutral attacks. Its typing also granted resistances to water and ground, letting it check Croconaw, Diglett, Onix and Sandshrew. Bayleef also has a wide supporting move pool. One important thing Bayleef does is make Croconaw reveal what coverage move its Rest Talk set has, which is an important piece of information you want to find out. Since Bayleef is faster than Croconaw, it can tank Ice Beam safely, and it's overall a decent answer to it. It also threatens it with a strong Razor Leaf. Bayleef's special attack stat is decently high, and Razor Leaf has a solid crit chance. This lets Bayleef hit Croconaw, Diglett, and Onix hard. Bayleef also has reliable recovery with Synthesis, meaning it doesn't have to use 2 move slots on Rest Talk. Synthesis should be used on every Bayleef set, since otherwise the thing just gets worn down. After Razor Leaf and Synthesis on defensive sets, Bayleef can choose a variety of supporting moves. Light Screen fortifies Bayleef, as well as its teammates, against Magby and Smoochum. Considering Magby and Smoochum can switch into Bayleef relatively safely, having Light Screen to protect its team is nice. Leech Seed is another good option. Leech Seed further annoys Croconaw and hinders Pokemon like Cursed Togetic. It's very useful in last Pokemon scenarios. Bayleef can also use Ancient Power or Body Slam, which helps stop Magby and Smoochum from coming in freely. Ancient Power also has a 10% chance to boost Bayleef's stats, which can be game breaking. Bayleef can even use Growl, which lets it combat Cursed Togetic. Bayleef can also use a Sword Stance set, taking advantage of its good bulk and typing to find setup opportunities. It's able to set up all over Ice Beamless Croconaw, opposing Bayleef and Diglett. While Bayleef's attack isn't great and it lacks physical stab, its boosted attacks still hurt. Normal attacks are powerful in this tier, and Bayleef's boosted returns are no exception. Bayleef can then choose Hidden Power Ground or Rock. Hidden Power Ground hits Coughing, Grimer and Onix, while Hidden Power Rock slams Magby, Smoochum and Butterfree. Bayleef can also use Body Slam over a turn to potentially cripple incoming Magby and Smoochum. Bayleef is one of the most versatile Pokemon in this tier. It can run defensive and offensive sets, and run them well. It's a staple on balanced and offensive teams, since it can counter Rock types and Croconaw. Croconaw pairs nicely with Bayleef, since it can check Magby and Smoochum. Onix is a nice partner as well, since it can check non-tentacle poison types. Bayleef does have some downsides though. Its typing leaves it with weaknesses to Fire, Ice and Poison. Being weak to Fire and Ice is very unideal in a tier dominated by Magby and Smoochum. Both of them can switch into defensive Bayleef with little fear and then threaten Bayleef's team. Bayleef is also poor into the tier's poison types, Coughing, Grimer and Tentacool. Bayleef's Sword Stance sets have a lot of issues with the poison types and still get outsped by Magby and Smoochum. Defensive sets can also be a bit passive. Swords Dance sets also face competition from Weeping Bell, who has Sleep Powder, Stab Sludge Bomb, and more power. Bayleef also despises status, and particularly paralysis. If paralysed, Bayleef is now slower than Croconaw, who can now Ice Beam it away. Despite all this though, Bayleef is great. These issues aren't enough to hold it back from being a top Pokemon in GSCZU. Bayleef has always been great in GSCZU. On day 1 of the tour, Bayleef was hyped up as a great Pokemon. All the middle evolution starters were good from day 1, and Bayleef is no exception. Back then though, Wartortle and Quilava were illegal. Bayleef wasn't as great into Wartortle as it is versus Croconaw, and Quilava obviously just torched it. There was also Poliwag in the mix back then. Bayleef could tank Belly Drum boosted attacks on Poliwag and KO it with Razor Leaf, but Lovely Kids made it a shaky answer. You had to let something else get slept and then bring Bayleef in and KO. Bayleef was still very good though. It became even more popular when Wartortle and Quilava were banned in early 2021. Bayleef did eventually stumble a bit in popularity though. In September 2021, players dropped Bayleef a bit on the viability rankings because of its issues with Magby, Smoochum, and the poisons. Its usage declined a bit, but then it rose back to the top of the tier by the end of 2022. While Magby, Smoochum, and poison types are an issue, they aren't impossible to surpass, and Bayleef is still very good otherwise. Bayleef is a fantastic Pokemon in GSCZU.